Oh, what's going on? This is sort of a response, late night, can't sleep response to Brasel the Gamer's video on, I think he just made it, called, I don't know, it didn't make any sense to me, top hidden gems that are affordable for NES. I also just watched Matt Ezro's top 10 games that suck, but I like. I think that's what his list was. If that's not his wording, that's what he did. First off, I don't believe there's anything that's a hidden gem on NES, North American, anymore. There's really nothing that's uncovered, hidden. There's nothing that's hidden anymore. And if it is hidden, it's not a good game. And secondary, affordable, I don't believe that either. So, it's sort of it's not, there's no such thing, okay? I can name games that I like. Again, like, Matt likes some games that are universally panned, and I could call them gems, but that's a matter of opinion. And then there's some other games that are hidden gems for sure, but they're not cheap. So it's a fucking conundrum. There's really no such thing anymore. But you can always have your personal opinion. I mean, Guerrilla War, people have heard of Guerrilla War. It's not a gem, hidden, but it's very cheap. But you can't put it on the list because you've heard of it. You've heard of Guerrilla War, right? Tetris 2, I think this is still cheap. It's got Tetris in the title. It's not hidden at all. Deja Vu, I don't remember ever hearing of this game. And yeah, so there's just really no such thing anymore. However, I'm going to do a top 5 hidden gem NES list that are affordable right now on the spot. No editing. So let's get to it. So I'm going to make this up on the spot. I'm actually just going to go into my emulation state so I can just record this because I don't have capture card. I don't want to blow in my carts. And I don't want to worry about all that shit. Number 5. Is this a 5 list? Is this a top 5 list? Oh shit. So again, these might not be hidden gems, but they might be games top 5 games you might have forgotten about that are therefore hidden, but should still be cheap list. Alright, number 40. Oh, I know. Let's pick something that starts with P. Number 5. Panbot. This is a 1988 rare pinball game. It's got 4 players, alternating. Bullshit. It is the best pinball game on the Nintendo Entertainment System, in my opinion. You might like Pinball Quest if you're a real weirdo and you just like the aesthetic of it. Rockin' Ball is a fun pinball-like game for co-op play. However, the best pinball experience is definitely, especially single player, is pinball. This game should not cost you that much. It's not a hidden gem in my opinion, because again, I don't think there's really such a thing so much. But this game's great. It's got both paddles. It's got a shake. It's got secret worlds, rods, and it's a pretty fucking good pinball game. Try to get a high fucking score. And playing with balls. So like, this is my number 5. You know, it's pinball, so it might not appeal for you. But if you want a cheap hidden gem, you're gonna have to play things like pinball. Number 4. Number floor, I should be laying on the floor, is Flying Dragon, The Secret Scroll, a Culture Brain game. The second game of a series of games that got so many games. It's ridiculous. How did this game get over 5 games? It originally came out in the arcade for under the name Shanghai Kid, which I just recently found out. Then this game came out. Then it had a follow-up sequel on the NES, which some people might also consider a hidden gem called Flying Warriors. I do not like Flying Warriors myself. Then it had a Super Nintendo game. I forget the name because it's not good. And then even the Nintendo 64 got a Flying Warrior game, but I think that was just a straight-up fighting game. And by then they're just I don't understand how this game lasted so long. Anyway. So this game is terrible. Most people hate it. But it should be cheap, and I do consider it a hidden gem, because most people would not give this game a chance. In fact, when I first gave this game a chance, I was about to sell it to the wolves. Alright, so I don't jump high right now. I think I need a power up. Anyway, so right now it plays like Kung Fu. And it's a really shitty Kung Fu, and you can easily die. So what you have to do is kill these 4 bosses, and get their piece of paper. And that's like lame, but that's what you gotta do. Okay? That's what makes it a game. There's some health hidden inside of this bitch. What you can do is just stand around and wait for the bosses to spawn, otherwise the level is going to loop real quick. Here's a little trick I just learned. You can actually jump through those, but you can also jump through it twice, which is bad. But you hold down and the kick button. Ooh, a 1-up. Anyway, so basically this is a Kung Fu ripoff right now. Let's just stand around and wait for a boss to show up. So basically, there's the boss. She looks like my ex-girlfriend. In fact, that's who that looks like to me. So you get the piece of paper, so I got 3 things up there. And I got a little shooty thing now. So basically I have to get 4 pieces of paper, and then you unlock a key. Now bear with me here, you're like, wait, like this is a shitty Kung Fu game. But let's just stand around here, because the level's about to loop. It's going to start all over from the beginning. That sucks. But that's not a big deal, you can go around again. So here's the exit. So I got 4 pieces of toilet paper. Here's the 5th boss. So I'm going to try to beat her ass without looping again. Get over here. Like, I'm basically a pimp sheep. So now I have a key. So now I can go through the door. And now the game starts. Most people don't even play this game that far. And that's why it's a hidden gem. It's actually hidden inside of the game. That this game is a hidden gem. Like, inside of the game is the game. That's how hidden gem this is. And it's only number 4. Oh shit, what am I going to do for 3, 2, and 1? I have no idea yet. So a bunch of talk, a bunch of blah blah, but this is actually what the game is here. It's a early fighting game. In fact, it's the most in-depth fighting game on the NES, in my opinion, because this game is before the whole Street Fighter style. I wish I could skip this shit, but I think I did intro mode. So play on mediocre difficulty if you don't need to know this shit. So you hit up to block, forward to block. This is boring. Down. Up to defend. God damn it, hurry up. You definitely want to pay attention to this, though. This is pretty much all your moves set. So it ends up being a quick time event sort of dealy, but there's advanced strats, there's secret moves. And you don't always have to pay attention to the Guitar Hero stuff, like, if you kick me in the face, I'll just back off. There's a secret move here, where, like, let's see if I can get her to hit me in the face. Come on, bitch. Ah, she did a fucking, spinny wheel kick. Come on. Damn, fucked it up. These pill bottles are great. That's how you do some stuff later, but they're really hard to catch. Let's see if we can get her to punch me in the stomach. Before I punch her in her stomach. And there you go. And then you can do a throw move. Check that throw move out. You see that shit? So I should be collecting those pill bottles, but they're really hard to catch. I think that's how you do the secret moves. But this is basically your fighting game. The only problem is, between fighting game modes, you have to do the Kung Fu level thing. And that's bullshit. But you can get over it, get your 4 pieces of toilet paper, and then you get to go to a fighting tournament. Mike Tyson Punch-Out style, where you gotta fight different bosses and stuff. This is not a game for everybody, but I do think it's unique. There's nothing else like it on the NES, so that gets points. And it isn't that bad if you can look past the fact that it's not super high quality. And this is just training, but once the game starts, it's actually pretty cool. And there's a whole conspiracy Illuminati thing going on with it, where there's these guys called the Tusk Masters, and you basically have to fight some guys a certain way for them to expose themselves as the evil rulers as they really are. And then once that happens, you have to fight them. And that's how you really progress in the game. Because if you don't fight all the Tusk Masters, you actually can't beat the game. It's not a perfect game by any means, but it's definitely a hidden gem, in my opinion, that's affordable. Again, I'm just making this up on the spot, so who fucking knows. Tecmo Pro Wrestling, that's a pretty good game. That's one of the best wrestling games. That game shouldn't cost you more than $5. Hidden Gem? Yeah, probably. But it's a wrestling game, I don't know, it's a sports game. Toki. Toki is a great NES game. I think that's a hidden gem that nobody talks about. It's better than the arcade game. Let me check it out on price charting. That makes, oh, it's $33 on price charting, which means it's $40 on eBay. It's not affordable. Hidden gem or not. Nope, won't make the list. Two other games I just want to briefly mention now that I've thought about it. I want to go to show gameplay, we'll just make it Bam Bam, or some people do like that Zex's game, I suppose. You know, I never really got into it. It's still cheap and affordable, I believe. Guardian Legend, I don't like the game, but it's still cheap and affordable. Some people really love that game. Load Runner, some people don't like it. I like it. Pretty good game. Crazy Castle is kind of kiddish. Not people may like that, but that game's okay. I don't know if that's a cheap game. The two I really wanted to mention, though, shout outs to these two games, are Rescue the Embassy Mission. That game's not for everybody, but it's cheap, affordable, and very unique. So check out Rescue the Embassy Mission, and Trog, which is a port of an arcade game with its own backstory. I won't get into it. But Trog is sort of a Pac-Man-y type of game. It's, I think that's hidden gem-ish enough. Definitely check out Trog. I still think it's relatively cheap, and it should be more expensive for it being a pretty good game and kind of uncommon, I suppose. So yeah, I just wanted to shout out Rescue the Embassy Mission and Trog, mainly. Here we go. Here's number 3. Are we on number 3? Cycross. Cycross? Called Cycross. This is an FCI game. This is a port of an arcade game. This game is definitely cheap, affordable, probably a hidden gem. I actually think I heard about this from Sean Lewis, I think his name is, who runs a channel called Low Res or High Def or something like that. This is a game that you would have hated getting back in the day, but today you might not hate getting it because you're going to get it for $5 because it's a hidden gem that's affordable. In my opinion. Because you're not going to last long in it. This game is a brutal arcade game. However, it's not hard. There's nothing to grasp about it. It's about points, picking up people. You gotta get your gasoline, which I think are these plutonium symbols.
I'm sure that in 1985, plutonium is available in every corner drugstore.
Energy, and about points and shit. And after the second or third level, though, this shit ramps up real hard. It's hard, but it's definitely a hidden gem in my opinion. Even though it's probably not a hidden gem because I don't believe in such things. Alright, cool. Let's move on. Number 2. Alright, this is now a top 6 list. This one might not count. Again, like, you guys have heard of these games. It's definitely Gyruss. This game is awesome. This game is cheap. This should not cost you more than $8 mint. And, Gyruss is basically Galaga, which was the sequel to Galaxian, but on a circly thing. It's the only circly shmup on the NES. Circly games, sometimes known as tube shooters, which never made much sense to me because it's just a dumb name. It reminds me of when I had to come in a cup once. But it is a tube shooter, and the tube shooting aspect comes from games like Tempest and stuff like that. And for $5, I think it's great. It's not for everybody, but you know, if you're looking for hidden gems that are affordable on NES, all you're gonna get are games that are not for everybody. However, I think my list has been pretty friendly. So, yeah, definitely Gyruss, man. Alright, what number are we on now? I do not know. Let's just pick one. Alright, next hidden gem that is cheap and affordable. That is not hidden gem and not affordable. I don't believe in such nonsense. It's gonna be, let's pick a game that starts with R. Roadrunner, Road Blaster, Robocop. Oh, here we go. Rollerball. No, not Rollerball. Although that is cheap and affordable, What I meant to pick, though, was roller games. Here we go. This is a 1990 Konami game. This is based off a TV show, Extreme Sports TV show from the 90s. Late 80s, actually. Which was kind of like wrestling meets roller derby. What the fuck? There's alligators in this show? On the show. And that only lasted one season, and then it became American Gladiators. Not that that show became American Gladiators, but that's pretty much what replaced it. Like, Roller Games, the TV show, was very much American Gladiators style type of show. It had an arcade game by Konami, which was also very not like this at all. So basically what you got here is, so this is like Double Dragon on rollerblades, or a beat 'em up on rollerblades, and it's definitely cheap. Is it a hidden gem? Probably not. I don't believe in those types of things. I think, you know, maybe you're not sure of it. This game's probably pretty NES hard. It's hard as fucking shit. I'm not gonna lie, this is not a game for everybody. However, some people might forget about it, and you're playing NES anyway, it might be hard. But it's pretty dope. It's better than the arcade game in a lot of ways because that's kind of repetitive. But don't know if it's a hidden gem, but it's definitely affordable. How about that? It's got cool bosses. It's got great music because it's Konami. It's just a little rough and tough around the edges. Okay, number 4. Alright, well, let's keep this short. Number 1, this game, I don't know if it's affordable, but it should go up in price at some point because it's so good, because it's my number 1. Wait, this is number 2. And my number 2. This is a hidden gem. This is Formula 1 Built to Win. This is a battery backup saved Gran Turismo precursor on the goddamn NES. So you enter your goddamn name, and you pick a level to race on. I forget what levels you start on. I don't know if I have any money. There is a bit of a learning curve, but it's not too bad. Like, the first thing you want to do when you play this game is get a goddamn bumper. Because once you have the bumper, you'll notice you don't speed out so much. But anyway, so you gotta like, I got like $2,000, that's pretty cool. So let's go to a race. Go to Lakeside. Whoa, this isn't where you want to start, man. This isn't where you want to start. You want to start in New York City. I don't know what this level is. It plays like Rad Racer. You hold up to turbo. Obviously, this looks like shit to most people, but you can get into this game because there is upgrading. It's not a game you beat in one sitting. It takes, I have no idea how long this game takes. It could take you fucking anywhere from 12 to 40 hours, casually. Literally. It's got the battery backup, so get a good copy with it. I think this game is the most expensive on the list. Let's say it costs 12 to 15 bucks. This game is gonna, you know, this is a true hidden gem. This is the truest hidden gem on this list. A lot of people still don't know about this game. But the only thing I can say is if you do play this game, get a bumper as soon as possible. Always fill up on nitro when you're out. And then from there, you should know how to upgrade. But basically, it's Rad Racer, but more in-depth, more fun. I didn't know what the gas button was. And it's a hidden gem, man. I mean, it's the best racing game on the NES, bar none, in my opinion. There's Excite Bike, and there's RC Pro-Ams, of course. Great games. See, I don't have a bumper. That will avoid that type of shit where you get that bumper upgrade. Am I out of nitro already? For fuck's sake. Just check out Formula 1 Built to fucking Win, and that's it. Is that my number 2? Alright. Number 1. Number 1 is going to be an EverDrive. You have to get an EverDrive. Now, you can just emulate to play shit, but you want an EverDrive, because an EverDrive is built inside of one of these carts here, right? Now, let's say you want a game like, I don't know, Mike Tyson's Punch-Out. This game goes for like 30-40 bucks on eBay now. Like some Kid Icarus, this shit goes for like 30-40 bucks on eBay now. A bunch of these dumb games are really expensive now. I mean, even Nightshade, this stupid piece of shit is like 20 bucks now. Kilometer Bolt Duel's like 15 bucks now. What's this shit? Zen the Intergalactic Ninja now? This game's like 50 bucks now if you're fucking lucky. That's stupid. Don't buy this, get a goddamn EverDrive. Now, why am I saying this on the Hidden Gems list? Because if you want to find hidden gems, you're going to need to find them elsewhere. So get an EverDrive. Because on an EverDrive, you can... It's not emulation, first of all. Because emulation is pretty shitty. I cannot beat a lot of games very good on emulation. Especially the faster games. where 60 frames per second, whatever, you're moving fast and stuff, it gets kinda, you get the input lag. A lot of people don't know about input lag, they don't even notice it. Maybe they're playing on HD TVs anyway, they don't get that there's milliseconds of lag there. It's gonna mess up your game. However, on EverDrive is not emulation because you stick it in your NES. It's just like you have an NES card in there. People sometimes call it emulation, but emulation means you're emulating something. What is emulation emulating? You're emulating an NES. However, you can't emulate an NES if you're in an NES. You know what I'm saying? So you're playing on actual hardware, and it's just like the game's in there. That's not emulation because it's the fucking NES. You can't emulate within the NES. There's nothing in here that's computer-based except memory with its original ROMs when you have an EverDrive. Now, the thing that's cool about the EverDrive, besides the fact that it's not emulation, is that's where your hidden gems are going to come. On EverDrives, you can play Japanese games, you can play Famicom Dick's games, you can play PAL games, you can play ROM hacks, you can play demos, you can play any ROM file. Sometimes you have the ISP on your computer, but you can play all this shit on your NES. You can play bad apples. Cool tech demos like that. You could play ROM hacks that are too big for NES carts, like Revenge of Red Falcon for Contra on your NES. Fuck the emulation thing. And they're expensive, but like not any more expensive than maybe a stack of games like this. If there's a Mega Man or Contra in there, get the goddamn EverDrive. Fuck these prices. Bring them down. Stop being hipster fucks that have fucking wall candy. Think you're all fucking cool with your fucking games, because you're not cool. You're kind of retarded if you're like blowing money on trophies that you don't even play, you know what I mean? There's nothing special about having Mega Man 5 if you paid 120 bucks for it. Here's Rockman 5 from Japan. This is a $5 game over there. It's not special. Play this on an EverDrive. Also, there's so many games that came out in Japan that did not come here. They're all hidden gems. There's so many great ones. And sometimes Japanese versions have better versions of the US versions. They're usually easier, by the way. You know, so if you want to play Ninja Gaiden 3, the Japanese version, which is easier than our version, you can play it on EverDrive. If you want to play Battletoads, the Japanese version, which is easier than our version, you can play it on EverDrive. If you want to play Castlevania 3, the Japanese version, we won't get the extra sound channel, because you're not emulating, so you're still on an NES, but you can play the Japanese version, which is easier than our version, on an EverDrive. Mr. Gimmicks, Euphoria, the Sunsoft games that didn't come out here. Those are hidden gems, expensive, often reproed for 40 bucks a pop. Get them on your damn EverDrive, or a power pack. There's rip-offs of these, cloned things of EverDrives, but there's a guy in Sweden or Switzerland who makes these things. A friend of mine brought up a good point too. When he decides to stop making these things, that's it, they're done. And their price is going to shoot up. So they're actually hidden gems in themselves, these contraptions. These are not, maybe somebody else will reverse engineer them and make them, but the original guy who makes the EverDrives, for the time being, so they're potentially hidden gems in themselves too. But the greatest thing about them, again, is you can play the hacks, the ROM hacks, the fucking, all that shit. So for example, you want a hidden gem, let's pick a game you've probably never played before, besides the before mentioned ones. And again, this is the cheapest thing for your bang of your buck. I was gonna say bang for your dick, because I mean you can go get a $10 blowjob from that chick, but I don't know, man. I don't trust her. Okay, this is like a Rockman 2 hack. So again, this is Rockman 2. It's not based off Mega Man 2. A lot of people don't think there's a difference. There's a pretty big difference. Subtle. So this is Rockman No Constancy. Okay? This is something you could play on your EverDrive. It's probably a hidden gem. It's a ROM hack, but it's pretty slick, man. It's an older ROM hack. You could play this on your Nintendo Entertainment System on your retro setup TV. This game has all original music, all original level design. It plays just like the Rockman 2 you know. It's probably very challenging. I don't know. Noob shit. Fucking noob Cybot. And now you can stick this on your EverDrive and play it on your Nintendo Entertainment System. So I suck. Obviously this level's bad. Now look at Airman. He's so badass. Talk about a hidden gem, right? You guys never heard of this. Oh, it doesn't count because it's a ROM hack. Yeah, but you can play it on your fucking EverDrive. You fill that thing up for... Oh shit, there's like wind blowing against me. Oh, this whole level has it like... It's like those air guys are blowing on you in Airman stage. Oh, this is brutal, man. There's probably a power-up weapon that... Oh, it looks kind of like that Zelda game. Battle of Olympus here. Pretty cool. Oh, you gotta wait for the... Like, I don't even know where the floor is. So anyway, stuff like that. That's, I mean, this is a hidden gem. If you like Mega Man. You know, tons of goofy fucking games from these ROM hack worlds, you know. Play them on your real NES, on your fucking CRT. Go look at stuff like Super Bat Punch, a demo of a game that was never finished, unfortunately. There's a demo for it. I don't think it's ever going to get finished, but the demo itself is pretty dope. And this can play on your NES hardware, because it's an NES game, if you stick it on your EverDrive. Or Flash Cart. Power Packs are cool, too. This game is pretty slick. I don't think I've really played it much. There's a lot of text, a lot of story stuff. But here's a hidden gem. I mean, fuck, most people don't play this shit. Super Bat Puncher. Unfortunately, I don't think this game will ever get finished or made, but this demo is sweet. Again, this will play on your NES. Oh, you gotta hit the bat too. Yeah. So there's lots of cool things you could put on EverDrive. BenevolentDick's games. Japanese games, PAL games, you name it. Hacks, translations, anything that's a ROM file will go on that thing. So that's your best bet for a hidden gem. That's affordable. Because you could look at a game like Moon Crystal. That's a hidden gem. Or a unique game. I think that came out in Europe or Japan or has a translation. There's a hidden gem. You can emirate it. You want to play it on your NES though? Keep this shit legit. Get the damn EverDrive. So that's my top 25 affordable NES games. I just wanted to do a 5 in the fucking morning response to Brasel the Gamer. Great guy. I think he writes for a website, does articles. I think he has a website himself. BraselGamer.com probably. Cool dude for sure. Check out Brasel. I'll leave a response to him. I think his list was good. I don't like any of the games on his list personally, but I see where he's coming from for sure. But I had to respond to that, and I just watched Matt's top 10 games that everyone hates that I like type of video, so that kind of left it open for me to put some shitty games on my gems list. But affordable, get that EverDrive. Stop feeding into the prices. I think you can get those 151 in carts too on the internet too. Maybe grab some of those. Oh. Anyway, thanks for watching. Forgive me for not giving a shit about this video. In the sense that I'm basically just streaming and rambling right now. And I didn't put any care into the thought of the whole thing. And I'm kind of in a shitty mood because it's like my birthday. Tomorrow. And it's just, wow. I'm always in a fuck around my birthday. I don't know what it is. And the winter, man. Shit. Fucking winter, man. It's cold out there sometimes in the winter. So, forgive me for being nonchalant, tired. It's just an old school response video that went on way too fucking long. And I improvised the whole thing, so. That's how it goes. Alright, thanks guys. Happy gaming.